Ladies and gentlemen, please take a moment to silence your cell phones. We thank you. And now, for Act 1 of Death of a Doornail.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's murder mystery production. I will be your host. Well, not a host per se. I'm not going to be getting you finger sandwiches or refilling your coffees. No. I am going to be the host of tonight's murder mystery production. And a production it is indeed. Not like those cheesy pin the tail on the perpetrator. No. Tonight we're going to kick it old school. We're going to go classic, old school, drawing room murders of Agatha Christie, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and Nancy Grace. The real nail-biting, edge of your seat.
Wait, hang on a second. I thought this was free-form karaoke night. Now, what's all this jazz about a murder mystery?
No, sir. If you want karaoke, I think you might want the lumberyard down on Gibson Street.
I've told you this was the wrong place, Stanley. I told you to stop and ask for directions, but would you listen? No. You were all like, I know where I'm going, Bernice. This is the place, Bernice. This ain't the place, Stanley.
Yeah, well, what place is it then, huh? What are you people doing?
Murder mystery?
A murder mystery?
You already said that, Stanley. Weren't you listening?
I thought she was getting finger sandwiches and coffee.
No.
Well, I came here for karaoke. So you mean I can't sing?
I don't think so, Stanley. Not unless it's a musical. Is it a musical?
No, ma'am.
It ain't a musical, Stanley.
No singing, huh?
No singing. No music. Just mystery.
All right, well, I might watch part of it, but if I've seen it before, I'm leaving. If I pay $30, I want to sing karaoke.
Okay, Stanley, that's fine. You go ahead with your speech there, miss.
Thank
We'll
you.
stay for a bit.
Okay, where was I?
Something about biting the edge of your seat.
Yes, traditional value murder mystery. The classic English drawing room home of Albert Doornail, eccentric tycoon. We'll also find in the household Mortimer, your traditional English butler. We also have Edward, loyal nephew on vacation from boarding school. Next up, we have Albert's young, beautiful, if somewhat shallow daughter, Abigail. Priscilla, excuse me. Then we have Albert's ex-wife, Abigail. Next up, we have Albert's new girlfriend, Candace Bambay. And of course, where would we be without Salvatore Carbone, long ago childhood friend and new business partner. And of course, no English home is complete without the housekeeper, Mrs. Morganford.
Yeah. Okay.
What will happen? What evil deeds may occur? What plot twists are we going to find? What drama?
All right, already, get on with the darn thing so we can find out.
Very well. Ladies and gentlemen, take your place. Folks, we now present to you Act 1 of Death of a Doornail. Early one evening, rainy night.
Uncle Albert! Uncle Albert! Uncle Albert!
Edward!
Uncle Albert!
Edward!
Uncle Albert!
Edward! Why are you yelling in here?
I'm looking for Uncle Albert.
I can hear that. Half the town can hear that.
Well, if you can hear that, dear Priscilla, then why do you inquire?
I asked why you were yelling.
I merely raised my voice to elicit a response from Uncle Albert. I can't find him. It's time for him to eat.
I should think he can feed himself if he's hungry.
But Priscilla,
He's probably getting ready for tonight anyway. Most of the family's going to be here for a so-called announcement.
But Priscilla,
You know what his announcement is, don't you?
No, I was unaware of any forthcoming announcement.
Well, there has to be. Daddy doesn't call everyone together unless he's going to announce something. He's even invited Mother to be here tonight. They haven't spoken to one another in years.
So you've deduced all this based upon some invitation.
Why don't you speak English to me, Edward? You know I didn't study Latin.
It wasn't Latin, Priscilla. It was English.
Well, how are you with Italian?
Mensa. Why do you ask?
That smarmy Mr. Carbone's supposed to be here tonight as well. You know, Daddy's old friend that looks like he walked out of some gangster movie.
Enlighten me, cousin. Why are all these people gathering today?
Why? Why? I'll tell you why.
Well, very well. Tell me why.
I don't really know. I mean, Daddy is always having lavish parties and great get-togethers, but this time, it feels different.
Well, how different does it feel?
I don't know. Something in the air. Like cheap perfume.
Excuse me?
Oh, you know what I mean. Everything's different since Mother and Father had their demise and Daddy began gallivanting around with that
what?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? You began saying he was gallivanting around with that
woman! Candy or Bambi or Bimbo or whatever her name is.
Ah, the source of the cheap perfume.
Yes! What a horrible excuse for, What?
Once again, you didn't finish your sentence.
I did too. I always finish my sentences. I carry them through to the
end?
What?
Nothing.
Anybody home? Oh no, there she is now. I swear if Daddy announces his engagement to her tonight, I'll absolutely die.
Oh, Candace is a pleasant lady. Perhaps culturally challenged, but pleasant.
You only say that because she'll be your step-aunt. But she'll be my stepmother.
Oh, I see. You're scared she won't let you go to the ball. She'll make you stay home and scrub the floors.
Woohoo! Albert, where are you?
Quick, Edward, go head her
I
off.
cut her head off.
No, head her off. Stop her. I can't bear to deal with her right now. Her personality gives me indigestion, and I'm all out of tongues. Quick, just go and
tell her about your delicate digestive condition and how much you're looking forward to going to the ball. I mean, you've picked out your dress and your glass slippers and...
Oh, never mind. I'll have Mortimer do it. Mortimer!
Hello?
Mortimer!
Priscilla?
Uncle Albert?
Mortimer!
Priscilla?
Uncle Albert?
Edward!
Edward?
Uncle Albert?
Edward!
What?
Why are you calling for Uncle Albert? I don't want that woman!
Miss Candy Van Bay is here, ma'am.
Thank you ever so much, Mortimer.
That's great news! It's Katie Van Bay! Thank you! Hey, kiddos! How's it going? Hey, this is a cool room. I don't think I've been in here before, have I? No, I don't think I have. What is this room?
It's the drawing room, ma'am.
Really? What kinds of things do you draw in here?
Conclusions.
Really? What kind of diddling do you do? I didn't know you guys are artsy-fartsy. I can do little bunnies and little birdies.
Well, actually, the term drawing room comes from the term to draw, as in to gather.
Oh, we
and-
draw all sorts of things. Why don't I grab you a smock and some finger paints?
Oh, honey, I couldn't even draw a straight line.
Yo, anybody there?
What on earth was that?
I'm not sure it's of this earth.
Perhaps it's Mr. Carbone.
Who's Mr. Carbone?
Daddy's new business partner.
Your daddy's new... He's
Mr.
supposed to be going
Carbone is
to-
here, ma'am.
He's supposed to be going to work with me.
Oh, well, have Mr. Carbone wait in the den until Father arrives.
It so happens I'm having great difficulty locating Sir's whereabouts.
Speaking of which, where is your daddy anyway?
I'll find him. Come along, Mortimer.
Edward, no, don't!
I'm sorry, dear, were you talking to me?
No, I was trying to tell Edward, don't look for him there because he's probably outside in the garden. I'll go get him.
Oh, that's really nice of you, Penelope.
It's Priscilla.
You know, your daddy and I have a very strong attachment for each other. I hope you know I extend my attachment to everyone, the whole family. I'm looking forward to meeting them all.
And I'm sure the family looks forward to meeting you too, and your attachments.
You know, honey, I'm even excited to meet your dear mama. I know, some people think it's kind of crunchy to meet the ex, but you know, she and your daddy have let a lot of water flow under that old bridge, and I don't think there'll be any hard feelings. Don't you imagine?
Oh, I imagine lots of things. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some things
That's...
that's all.
Priscilla? Priscilla?
Uncle Albert?
Well, I can see he's not in here either, sir. I'm sorry. I don't know where he is.
Oh, forget about it then, Mrs. Morganford. Al's always taking it on the lamb. He'll show up around here somewhere.
I suppose.
Hey, who's the name?
That would be Candy Bambi, Mr. Doornail's lady friend.
That's the broad he's been seeing? The one he met in Tijuana?
Yeah, striking, isn't she?
She's just a pup.
Oh, she's not that much of a pup. A little older, perhaps. More like a mature dog. Mature female dog.
Al's been telling me all about this broad. Said she makes him feel better than he's ever been. Says a day with her is like a day in Disneyland.
Oh, yeah, she certainly has a Disney quality about her.
So introduce us, Mrs. Morganford.
Must I, Mr. Carbone?
You must, Mrs. Morganford.
Very well. Candy Bambi. Salvatore Carbone. Salvatore Carbone, Candy Bambi.
Actually, it's Bambay. Candace Bambay.
How do you do, Candy? You could call me Sal.
Oh, you must be the Sal my Al's been talking about.
That's me. We go way back to the old neighborhood back in Atlantic City. We paisans.
Oh, isn't that sweet? You grew up together.
Well, yeah, but till high school when his old man made a killing in the stock market. Then bada bing, bada boom, they moved away. We ain't keep in touch much after that, especially after he got married. The old lady didn't take a shine to me. I didn't have no coot. There wasn't enough boy in my paloy.
So, what do you do, Sal?
Oh, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. For a while I was in the import business. Olive oil.
Oh, Popeye's girlfriend.
No. No, like the olive oil that you cook with.
Oh, do you cook?
Do I cook? Forget about it. I love to cook. I love to eat. In fact, that's the deal Al and I was working on. We was gonna open up a string of fast food pasta joints all over the place. We're gonna call it Manja. Either that or Al's and Sal's. We ain't worked out all the details yet.
See, that's interesting because you worked out a deal with me too.
Is that right?
We're gonna open up a string of beauty parlors. We're gonna call them From Hair to Eternity. He's gonna fly me to Paris so I can learn all the junk the French do. I already know how to do a French braid.
Oh, yeah. How much do you figure he's gonna invest in this?
I don't know. How much is he investing in you?
Hey, it ain't an investment, babe. It's a partnership. Just like it's always been. Just like the old days back in Atlantic City. 10 years old and we was pulling down $500,000 a month.
Yeah, well, mine is a partnership too.
Yeah, well, Al makes a lot of promises, capiche?
Yeah, and he can't keep them all. Peach?
Mr.
Carbone, there's a phone call for you. A gentleman referring to himself as Big Bruce Fusco would like to speak with you.
Oh, Big Bruce, my security guy. Hey, excuse me a minute there, Bambi.
It's actually not Bambi, it's... Never mind.
Would you like a refreshment, ma'am, while you wait? Perhaps a soft beverage of some sort?
You know what, Mr. Mortimer? I'd like a pencil and some paper. This room is giving me the itch to draw.
Very good, ma'am.
Uncle Albert?
I wonder if anyone's gone to look for him in the garden. Maybe I'll just do it.
Suitable for man nor beast, ma'am.
Ah, the old drawing room, just as I remember it.
It's nice to have you back, Mrs. Doornail.
Oh, thank you, Millie, and it's good to be back. And please call me Abigail. After all, you're no longer in my employ.
Unfortunately.
Well, I don't see too many changes. I was so sure that Albert would redecorate the entire estate in some ghastly way.
Everything is as you left it, ma'am, all those years ago.
Hey, that vase is new. Oh my, what a horrible looking thing. It doesn't go with anything in here. Where on earth did he get that?
Actually, Abigail, you got that.
What? Never.
Absolutely, at the Onassis Estate sale at 74.
14th century Ming Dynasty, if I recall.
Well, perhaps if it were dusted more frequently, it wouldn't look quite so drab. So tell me, who's here?
Well, Mr. Carbone.
Carbone, that low-life rabble.
And of course, your nephew, Edward.
Edward? Dear brilliant Edward?
Actually, he's staying with us for a duration.
Duration?
Yes, until his parents come back from abroad.
Well, surely there must be more than Edward and Carbone.
Well, yeah.
Yes, another guest has arrived.
Well, who is it? Warren Buffett?
Heavens, no.
Forbes? Gates?
Not as such, ma'am.
No, it's rather a significant friend or other of Mr. Doornail's.
Candy Bombay, I believe is the name.
oh, I suddenly feel faint. I wonder what he's done with the bathrooms.
Nothing, I assure you, ma'am. They're still there.
No. I mean the colors. I had everything coordinated right down to the decorative suit. Oh, I must go see.
Well, she's certainly still a bundle of joy.
May I just say, the ex-Mrs. Doornail was always a pleasure to serve.
Oh, cut the corn, Morty. It's me you're talking to, remember?
Oh, yes, well, may I just then say that the ex-Mrs. Doornail was always a pain in my posterior.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit. Hey, wait till old Lady Doornail gets a load of Bambi. Where is she anyway?
She was searching for Mr. Doornail, but now she's at the dining room table, engaged with a box of crayons and a large manila tablet.
Oh, Lord. But no sign of the old man, huh?
No sign.
I saw him just before breakfast this morning. He went upstairs, and that was the last I saw him.
I would expect him to be showing up presently because most of the guests are already here.
Yeah, why do you think he's called this whole motley crew here, Morty?
I haven't the foggiest. There are all sorts of rumors flying. Priscilla believes that Doornail is going to announce his engagement to Bambi. Carbone thinks it's a new business venture. There's even one of Doornail's changing his will.
Changing the will?
I'm sure we have nothing to fear change-wise. He'll remember us quite fondly. He'll show us proximally.
Well, I guess I better be going to the kitchen and seeing to dinner.
And I suppose I should track down Doornail and tell him the homies are all here.
Yeah.
Yo, Mrs. Morganford.
Yeah, Morty.
Morty, don't look now. They got us surrounded.
Oh, there you are, Morty. I broke my burnt sienna. Do you have any more?
I have to search the grounds for Mr. Doornail, but if I come across a Crayola of your desired tint, I will bring it to you straight away.
So, beauty parlors, eh?
Yeah. Restaurants, eh?
Yeah. Quite a big joint Pal's got here, eh?
Yeah, this is the room where they do the drawing.
Oh, yeah.
Down yonder, they've got a room where they do step-in.
Is that right? Can you beat that?
Yeah, that's what the butler guy told me. But you know what this room reminds me of? It's like one of those rooms in those old movies, you know, where everyone speaks in a funny language, like they're from England or something. And it's like foggy, and it's rainy, and somebody gets killed, and then they make everyone come back into a room like this to question them.
Hey, back in my neighborhood, they dragged you down to the 10th precinct to question you. Ain't no room like this, I'll tell you, forget about it.
Those movies always take place in a room like this, and they always start with some woman screaming.
Yeah, I can almost hear it.
Well, you can only hear it. That's the thing. They don't show you nothing. And then someone runs in saying, so-and-so's been murdered. And then there's thunder. Albert's been murdered! Yeah, just like that.
I think I seen that flick.
Uncle Albert is dead!
What?
What? What? Murder, blood everywhere!
Who? What? Where?
The master band! Blood! Murdered! Oh, ow! Oh no, Mother, say it isn't so dear! It is so dear! Oh, I must go and see it! You know, it's a dreadful sight! Blood all over the sink! It isn't porcelain, you know! It's genuine china! It will never come out!
Shall I phone the authorities?
Oh, Mother, why? Oh, I never should have asked for a divorce. I should have remained. I should have been here. Where is he, Mother? Tell me. And if I would have remained, Albert never would have engaged in such careless behavior.
Well, as you know, I was looking for an
Associating
Albert.
with
It's probably that woman. Ever since the day she was
Madam says there's water under the sink. She says it's porcelain. I'm sorry that the has never been on it.
dragged down into the cardone.
What has possibly happened? I don't know.
Hello! If I could get everyone's attention,
Who are you?
I'm Inspector Bukowski from the yard.
The Scotland Yard?
No, the front yard. I was outside and I heard a scream.
What were you doing in the yard?
Well, I was passing by and I thought I saw a jart set up in your grounds. Jarts are against the law, you know. Well, unfortunately, much to my dismay, I found them merely to be small crop circles. So, I proceeded back to my vehicle, whereupon I heard a scream. And if I'm not mistaken, it was you, ma'am.
Me? How did you know?
Well, simple deduction. Your breath rate indicates that you've had a prolonged exhale recently, like that of a scream. And I believe that to be blood on your fingers. It's elementary that anyone with blood on their fingers has screamed in the past few minutes. Either that or committed a murder.
Murder? Why, I never.
May I point out, ma'am, that Mrs. Doornail just discovered the body and the blood. We're not certain she is the cause.
So there has been a murder. I could tell.
How can you tell?
Well, deductive reasoning is quite a strong aptitude in the investigative field, Miss Morganford, but do tell us, Inspector, as I'm quite curious your premise and conclusion of murder.
Well, it's simple. Look around you. This is a large English-style estate. It's a dark and stormy night. Out in the driveway, there are various vehicles, out-of-town plates, obviously a gathering of odd sorts. And then there was this piercing scream in the distance. And best of all, I come in to find you all conveniently gathered in the drawing room. It's perfect.
I demand that you arrest someone at once.
Very well. Who shall I arrest?
Why, the murderer, of course.
Yes, good. And the murderer would be?
Well, you're the inspector. You tell me.
I see. Well, having virtually nothing to go on, I haven't seen a body, I haven't questioned anyone, and I haven't established motive, cause, or means. I'm afraid I would be arresting under false pretenses. All I have to go on right now is the blood on your fingers, ma'am. Shall I arrest you?
Why, heavens, no!
May I ask your name, ma'am?
Well, I never.
You've never been asked your name before?
Okay, well, of course I have. It's Abigail Doornail, former wife of Albert Doornail, whose blood courses the upstairs bathroom. Oh, poor Albert! Oh.
Mother is innocent, I assure you, Inspector.
Is she? And you must be the daughter.
How did you know?
Because you called her mother.
I demand you arrest those shady characters at once, that awful hoodlum and
That's
You're gonna have to forgive my cousin, Inspector. She suffers a kind of mental paralysis when trying to talk on things her mind just can't really accept. I think she was attempting to insinuate Miss Candace Bombay, Uncle Albert's mistress.
Oh, quickly, a glass of water for Mother.
And you're making a brandy!
A glass of brandy for Mother.
I'll get it.
Can't you see what this is doing to poor Mother? Arrest those people.
And where would these people be?
I believe Mr. Carbone and Miss Bambi went upstairs to see after the late Mr. Doornail.
And this Mr. Carbone and Bambi are upstairs now, correct?
Yes.
And when did they leave?
Sometime after Mother came down.
After she came down. After he was murdered.
But they may have been up there before.
Before?
Before Mother went up. And then they came down after she went up.
And then they went back up after she came down?
No. I mean, yes. I mean, no. Yes. She came down and they went back up. But they may have been up there before she went up, and then she came down and they went back up.
Oh, stop all this ado about nothing and apprehend the heathens.
Well, that was a bust.
There he is, officer! Arrest him!
Oh, Abigail, nice to see you too.
Where's your accomplice, huh?
My accomplice? What are you people talking about?
Arrest him for the murder of my ex-husband!
Yeah, well, thanks, but no thanks.
I asked you where Bambi is.
I heard you, Toots, but what you really need to be asking is where Al is. There may be blood up there, but there ain't no body.
Inspector Bukowski. Nice to meet you.
Bukowski?
She's from the yard, sir.
Yeah, what, the front yard?
Exactly. Now, am I to understand that you found no body upstairs?
No body, no one.
Tell me what happened from the beginning.
Well, this broad comes down here screaming about blood and there's been a murder, Al's dead. So Bambi and I run up there, bada bing, bada boom, nothing.
I insist it was him. He wanted Albert's money and Albert wouldn't give it to him, so he killed him.
Oh yeah? Well, I ain't the one with blood on my hands.
What are you insinuating?
I'm insinuating that maybe you was a little miffed because Al dumped you.
I wasn't dumped. It was a mutual, amicable dissolution.
Yeah, well, you must be just a little disillusioned yourself because I heard that he dumped you for economical reasons.
Oh, please. What would economics have to do with it?
Hey, I heard you was bleeding him dry, spending his dough faster than he could make it. And blowing it on ritzy crap like this lousy joint.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Albert loved this house.
Hey, he might have told you that he loved this place. But I happen to know he hated this drafty old barn. He hated all the ritzy crap. The summer house in the Hamptons, the villa in Monte Carlo, forget about it. If Al comes up dead, there's only one mark I'm putting my money on.
Mother loved Father. She would never.
Whoa. Your mother loved your father's money. At the rate she was going, our government bailout couldn't have helped him.
Are we to assume that you have no debt, Mr. Carbone?
What?
Al often spoke of your fondness for the horses and the craps table. Are we to believe that you looked up your old friend to share in fond memories? Or was it to share in his wealth? I bet that you are so deep in debt that there are all sorts of seedy characters out looking for you now.
Oh, there you are, Sal.
Hey, look everybody, it's Candy!
It was her. She wanted Daddy's money and would do anything to get it.
I'm sorry, did I come in at a bad time?
Daddy was changing his will. That's why he invited everyone here. He was cutting Mother out and putting her in.
Are you sure about this?
No.
Well, that leads me to ask, who was invited here this evening?
Well, everybody.
Well, I wasn't invited.
Me neither.
Then why are you here?
Well, said I can come over whenever I want.
Hey, he called me yesterday and said we should get together and talk about business.
Oh, yeah. He called and said that to me, too.
Well, then in that case, technically, we could say that you were invited here this evening.
Well, yeah, I suppose technically, yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, if you want to.
Well, I, for one, received a formal invitation requesting my presence here on this very evening.
And do you have any idea why he invited you?
Well, I was thinking that Albert maybe that
That
he
Albert wished to patch things up, as it were, and then make you a part of his life again?
I never thought anything of the sort.
I see. And so you just wear your wedding ring as a memento then?
Well, I forget sometimes and put it on. After all, it's a very expensive piece of jewelry, and I don't feel safe leaving it lying around.
I see. So, only the former Mrs. Doornail was formally invited. The rest of you are here for other reasons?
Like murder!
Excuse me, but can I ask, how can there be a murder if there ain't no body?
I wouldn't imagine that someone like you would know about the disposing of bodies.
You talking to me?
I'm addressing the fact that your type of people don't leave bodies lying around. They throw them in the river with concrete shoes, don't they?
Okay, so what you're telling me is I whacked out, mixed up a bunch of concrete, stuck them in it, drove them to the nearest river, bada bing, bada boom.
Yes, bada bing and bada boom.
Do you know how long that would take? Do you know how long it takes for concrete to dry? Forget about it. The nearest river is 30 miles away. There's easier ways to get rid of a body.
Well, then what did you do with him?
Nothing, lady, what I'm telling you. Nobody's been whacked around here, especially not Al. There ain't been no murder.
Of course there's been a murder. Where else would Daddy be? Surely he'd be here by now. Something must have happened to him. No one has seen him all day.
Who was the last one to see Mr. Doornail?
I believe that would be Mrs. Morganford. She stated earlier that she saw him this morning at breakfast.
And how did he seem?
Oh, I guess okay. Not too happy, not too sad. He ate his 4-minute egg, his bowl of Fruity Pebbles, and read the Wall Street Journal.
And this was at what time?
About 9 a.m.
And no one else saw him at any time?
Daddy wasn't very social. He'd often spend a lot of time alone in the study or at the office, but lately he's been spending a lot of time with
me.
And now he's dead. Shouldn't we be doing something like look for him? Inspector, shouldn't you be searching for clues
that would lead to a killer? Yes, I should say I shall. I have already begun the process of acquiring clues, but I shall need to see this upstairs bathroom, and I would ask that Mrs. Morganford and Mr. Mortimer assist me with a few things, and I would ask that no one leave this house. Priscilla, I'm putting you in charge of keeping everyone here.
There's some red stuff out in the front by the front door. You might want to check on that too.
Lordy, more blood!
Thank you, miss, I shall.
You think maybe someone kidnapped him and is holding him for ransom?
It is a thought that I've considered, but I would think that there would be a ransom demand by now.
Maybe it's around here somewhere. Maybe we should look.
Have you been in a garden recently?
Well, yes. How did you know?
Your shoe. There appears to be vegetation of the garden variety. Veritas gardenus.
Oh. Wait, get a load of that.
Yes. The rain created an adhesion and caused it to stick.
And what were you doing in the garden?
I went out earlier to look for Al. Somebody told me he was in the garden.
She was probably burying him in the garden.
Oh, wait, hold on there. You're the one who told me he was out there.
Ha! Why would I murder my father?
Ha! Who said anything about murder? I've seen those detectives do that in those movies, and I've always wanted to do that.
Well, I only told you he was out there to get away from you. I didn't know where he was.
Yeah, honey, sure. I believe that all right. You always know where he is. That's how you keep me from him. Every time I come to see your daddy, you give me the runaround, and you stick me in the library or the study, and then you don't even tell him I'm here. And then he thinks I stood up a
that's the motive for murder.
Oh, yeah? Yeah?
Well, well, if you'll excuse me, I have a casserole in the oven. I'd like to get back to the kitchen.
Yes, very good. Again, I must ask that no one leave the premises. I must attend to the crime scene and gather evidence.
Yo, Bukowski, why you doing that? You mind if I go out and grab a little nosh out of the kitchen? I mean, after all, we were supposed to have dinner tonight, and right about now my stomach is belly aching.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I could certainly use some sustenance, even though my nerves are shot from all this hoopla.
Very good. I ask that you all retire to the dining room for the duration and then return here to gather again in the drawing room. I have some inclinations about this evening's event that may prove fruitful, but I must investigate further.
Yeah, well, you go about your fruitful business there, lady. I'm starving.
I just can't believe we're all just.
Hey, I keep my eye on that butler guy. It always ends up being in the end then.
Where is that dreadful boy with my brandy?
Here's your brandy, Aunt Abigail. It's Abigail? It's Abigail? Whatever. You know, I think it was that woman.
Which one, Stanley?
Oh, you know, the ones up there with the eyes and the hair and...
There's a lot of women there, Stanley, I don't know which one you're talking about.
Point her out to you.
Okay.
Later that evening, Inspector Bukowski has finished her investigative tour and gathered more evidence. Let's see what she's uncovered. Shall we?
Well, I've completed an investigative tour of the estate.
Dinner should be nearing completion, ma'am. Shall I go and ask everyone to convene in here?
Yes, but in a minute. I have a few more questions. Are you certain that at no time did Mr. Doornail receive a visit from his lawyer?
I cannot say with any certainty, ma'am. The last time I recall Mr. Doornail's legal representative being present was over a year ago.
And not only do you serve in the capacity of a gentleman's gentleman, but you're also in charge of Mr. Doornail's appointments and meetings. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Sir has entrusted me with keeping track of his affairs. Sir does have a propensity for forgetfulness.
And so, can we say that if Mr. Doornail were to, say, update his will and have his legal representative here to verify the changes, you would have full knowledge of it?
I believe I would, ma'am. Although Sir does forget things, take matters in his own from time to time, such as these recent business ventures with Mr. Carbone and Miss Bambi. I've only learned of those recently.
I see. So, Mr. Doornail hasn't been going through the usual channels recently.
One could say that. One could also say that recently Mr. Doornail has been acting most peculiarly. I could say a tad more peculiar than normal peculiarity.
How so, Mortimer?
Well, recently Sir has taken to pets. In the last month, he has purchased several Siamese cats, a golden retriever, a Great Dane, a Chihuahua, 3 parakeets, and a gerbil.
Fascinating. So, since the appearance of Miss Bambay and Mr. Carbone, not only has Mr. Doornail altered his usual business methods, but he's taken a fancy to all creatures great and small.
Does Madame believe that something indeed has happened to Mr. Doornail? Something in the mortality field?
I am led to believe so, Mr. Mortimer. That was human blood in the sink upstairs, and I'm sure that it's blood in the hall by the front door. Yes, add that, plus the sudden disappearance of Mr. Doornail, and all signs lead to foul play. There is something in the air tonight, Mr. Mortimer. Something indeed.
Well, I wish I could say it was only the new Field of Violet's room deodorizer, but I must concur. Shall I ask the guests to come in now?
Yes, but may I ask that they be let in one at a time? It would serve a purpose I have.
Very good, ma'am.
Inspector Bukowski, there you are. I must say, I'm quite interested in this investigative business, and I've been keeping some notes of my own. Let's see here. Looks like 2 of the guests arrived around 6 p.m., that being Miss Bombay and Mr. Carbone. Now, I was present and can verify those times. Looks like Aunt Abigail arrived about an hour later.
Yes, I pinpointed those times too. You and your cousin Priscilla were here all day, is that correct?
Well, I did have to step out for 1 hour. I had to go into town and grab flea spray from Mortimer.
Flea spray? For Mortimer?
Yes, Mortimer, the golden retriever. Oh, yeah. Uncle Albert named all of the pets after members of the house. You've got Candace the cat, Priscilla the parakeet, and so forth.
So, your uncle has taken a sudden interest in pets recently. Any theories?
Interesting you ask. I do have a theory. My mother and uncle had a very meager childhood growing up, and, well, a dog or a cat was just a luxury they couldn't afford. And then, well, there's Aunt Abigail. She wouldn't let Uncle have so much as a goldfish. In fact, just the fact that she's here tonight forced us to hide all the pets in the guest quarters. It is, except for...
Edward! You didn't let that stupid hamster loose in the house again, did you?
He's not a hamster, he's a gerbil. And
Well, whatever. Mother thought she saw something running under the table in there.
Impossible.
Don't impossible me.
Admit it, Priscilla. You're the only one who's been here all day. You're the only one with a motive. All the evidence I gathered points to you.
Me?
Yes, you. When things don't go your way, you'll go to any length to make sure they do.
Oh, settle down, Edward, and go get Mother another brandy.
You see, I'm going to prove that it was you. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm not coming back until I do.
Well, whatever. I can't believe we're all carrying on around here like nothing's happened. Daddy's been murdered and everyone's just...
Actually, murder is just speculation at this point.
Oh, right. Well, then tell me, Inspector, why are you here? Why is there blood all over the place? And how come you don't have a squad here scouring the grounds for clues?
Well, I'm just investigating the possibility of a murder at this point. Until I can prove there has been a murder, there's no need for a scouring squad.
You, Inspector! I found out what happened to Al.
You did?
Yes! Mrs. Morganford told me about the crop circles in the front yard.
What are you talking about?
The crop circles, Al's missing. Put them together and what do you get?
What do we get?
An alien abduction! They beamed out of the bathroom up there. Think about it.
I'm thinking about it, and it's giving me a migraine.
Where is that boy with my brandy? I swear you just can't get good nephews these days. So have you found anything, Inspector?
Yes, we found that Al's been kidnapped.
Oh my word, kidnapped?
Yeah, but little green men from Venus.
Everybody knows the little green men are from Mars.
Yo, Lloyd said you wanted to see me.
Yes, I wanted to see everyone. I found some very interesting things in Albert's study.
Yeah, well, I found some very interesting things about the soup we had back there a little while ago. The most interesting thing was it had no flavor.
Would you please be still, Mr. Carbone? The good inspector was just about to tell us something. Go on, Inspector.
Thank you. What I hold in my hand are various copies of Mr. Doornail's will. It seems he was drafting alternate versions over the past few months with various beneficiaries.
I knew it! I knew it! I told you!
Who are the beneficiaries?
Well, in one case, Miss Bombay is added, and in another, Mr. Carbone is added.
There's your proof. Daddy was changing his will, and then they killed him so they could get the money.
Sugar, I'm not about your daddy's money. Believe it or not, I love and respect your daddy on a whole different level. Unlike your mama here.
I beg your pardon.
Well, you can just beg until you're blue in the face because you know it's true. When I met Al, I didn't know he was rich. I didn't know nothing about him when I fell for him. I fell for the man, not the money. Unlike you, Abigail.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to believe that one, huh?
Sure, I believe it. The broad convinced me.
And what about you? Convincing Daddy to invest money in all those stupid restaurants? Mango Mango? What a stupid name!
Hey, it's Mansion, and it ain't a stupid name. Besides, it was Al's idea, not mine. He called me Toots.
Oh yeah, he called you, uh-huh.
If I could just get back to the matter here.
So who are the prime beneficiaries?
Well, from what I can tell, you all are. Except you, ma'am.
Oh dear.
From what I can tell, the most recently dated document splits everything equally. But there is a page missing from this one.
Yo, Bukowski, how legal is that stuff there?
Well, actually, not at all. As I say, these are just drafts. The court would refer to the original legal document, which unfortunately is not here.
It's in a safe deposit box at Daddy's bank.
Are you certain?
No. But probably he keeps all his important papers there.
So in other words, if whoever whacked Al was in it for the money, they would have known that these documents wouldn't hold up, but that the original ones would. So, whoever was the beneficiary on the original will, that's your murderer.
Yes, something like that. That is, if money is the motive. But unfortunately, we don't have the original document, so we must find an alternate method of discovering the killer. I'm going to need everyone in here. Could someone have Edward, Mrs. Morganford, and Mortimer come in?
I'll get them.
Oh, Mr. Carbone, you are so funny.
Funny? How am I funny? What, am I a clown? Do I amuse you? How am I funny?
Oh, by playing innocent all evening long, acting as though you're helping the good inspector solve the mystery. It's quite humorous.
Funny, eh? Well, I think it's funny if you could stand here and play humorous, because if you want to talk about motive, it's written all over you. Whatever happens if they go back to the original will and they look who's the beneficiary? Well, who do you think is going to get all the money? Who's going to get the big antipas with the extra sharp provolone? It's you, babe.
So, we're not going with the alien abduction idea?
I'm not ruling out any theories.
Good, because I like that.
From what I can see, everyone in this room is capable. The problem is the lack of a body. But assuming there has been a murder and assuming that money is the motive, we must now take the opportunity to look at opportunity.
Edward!
So if Albert was murdered in the upstairs bathroom, the killer would have had to have dragged him out, down the stairs and out the front door. All this in broad daylight with people present. Now, who was here at the time? Well, Mr. Mortimer and Miss Morganford, and Edward and Priscilla.
So it must be one of them.
Edward!
Not necessarily. As we've learned, this is a large estate, and people come and go without anyone noticing.
So what, you're saying someone could have snuck in here, whacked Al, carried the body out, and came back a couple hours later all innocent like?
Exactly.
Well, that clearly indicates you, Mr. Carbone. You're the strongest one here.
You think so, Abby? You think so? I don't know, you got quite a bit of meat on those bones. I'll bet them arms is pretty buff from carrying shopping bags all around. You can probably imagine that Al's limp carcass is a fur coat from Bloomingdale's and forget about it.
Interesting points you bring up, Mr. Carbone. I have a few questions for him.
I can't find him.
All right, come in and be seated. I have some questions.
Yeah, I have some questions too.
Stevie, shut up!
Kelsey, let me ask you a question.
Sir.
Steely, you're going to get us
You're
kicked
interrupting
out!
the
Shut
show.
up!
Sit down.
Well, listen, I've seen in these things where they let you ask the people questions and such.
I understand that. You will get a chance to ask questions at intermission, but in the meantime, the show must go on.
All
Please
right.
take a seat.
Go on.
Please go ahead.
If I may point out, if Madam and Sir will kindly engage me, It is suspect that Mr. Doornail is not present, though Sir does frequent the forgetful realm ever so now and again. For an occasion such as this, I would expect his presence to be, well, present.
What on earth is the man saying?
He's saying that Mr. Doornail should be here.
My heavens, even when the man worked for me, I never understood what he was saying half the time.
Which leads me to inquire, Mortimer, you do have a somewhat rich vocabulary for a butler.
A gentleman's gentleman should possess a good deal of intelligence. I was sent to the finest schools and received a superior education.
And he watches PBS.
I still don't get it there, Morty. Why would a guy with your brains want to play stunad or play lackey to a stunad like Al?
Well, it suits me for now.
But you'd rather be doing something else.
Yes, but
But what?
financially they're out of my range.
So in other words, if you were to come into a good deal of dough, you'd be set, right?
Yes, that would be the case.
Yes, but wouldn't that be the case for you as well, Mr. Carbone?
But sure it would, but it'd be the same for everybody in this joint.
So the question we must answer is...
Who had the brass cannoli to whack out?
May I also speculate at this juncture?
Go ahead there, Morty, speculate away.
As you have pointed out, these new wills are not legal tender. Only the original is. What if our murderer was not quite as perceptive? They might not be able to tell a legal document from an artificial one. And what if our assassin were roaming the estate and came across one of these counterfeit wills? They might assume themselves to be the prime beneficiary, thereby expediting Mr. Doornail's death.
Interesting. So someone might not have realized these documents weren't real.
That would call for someone who was not quite as astute.
What's astute? I don't know. But if you look it up in the dictionary, I bet your picture's there.
What I mean to say is our alleged murderer was not very smart.
Okay, then it's definitely her.
Wait, hold on a minute. Hold on. What if the killer wants you to think he or she is stupid? What if the killer is really smart?
Okay, then it's Mortimer. Or Edward.
Where is that dreadful boy with my brandy?
Oh, he's off trying to prove I did it or something.
Mrs. Morganford, would you please go see if you can find where my nephew has got to?
No, nothing would please me more, Abigail.
And would you please fetch me a brandy? I'm feeling a wee bit parched.
Brandy is not my department. Insolence.
May I remind you, ma'am, that we are no longer in your employ. Your beck and call is no longer honored here.
Yeah, I'll go find the kid, but if you want anything else, get up off your duff and get it yourself.
Yeah, and while you're up there, Abby, I'll take a scotch. Neat, water back. And pretzels if you... Oh, those little cheesy puffs if you can find them.
I'll get you a brandy, Mother.
Oh, I hope that someone will.
That reminds me, I have a problem with the will theory. Even if it's the lack of the body, even if the beneficiary stood to inherit a fortune by killing Albert, why hide the body? How will death be proven? There would be at least a 7-year waiting period.
Really? Oh, I got it.
Stanley, shut up!
Oh, I figured it out, Bernice. I know who did it.
All right already, good for you. I'm sure a lot of people got ideas.
Mine's the right one.
Folks, please, again, I have to ask you to please be quiet. You're interrupting.
But don't we get to vote? I've seen in these deals where they let you vote.
You will get to vote. It is coming up.
Wait,
Stanley wants to know when.
I want to vote now. If I don't vote now, I might forget it.
Very well. Fine. We will vote now.
Yeah, right.
Cast, please take your places for questioning. Ladies and gentlemen, please hold on to your seats until our announcer comes out with details for intermission.
When you do your investigation, I'll do mine.
Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy some food and drink deal. Listen for my 5-minute warning bell.
Oh, it's my very and in case anyone wants to murder one of us, I do.
But I heard they were miniature. So they haven't been drilled into the ground surface of miniature.
And now, we present the conclusion of Death of a Doornail.
Hold on. I'm coming. Did I miss anything?
Come on, Stanley, hurry up, they're starting.
I'm hurrying. Hey, who'd you vote for?
Come on, Stanley, get over there and hurry up.
I said I'm going. Go ahead, I'm listening to you.
Right. Okay. Based on the evidence that I've gathered, including the questions asked and the answers given, I do have a theory as to the murder. At 9 a.m., Mr. Doornail went upstairs to shower. Now, that was the last time anyone saw him. Who was here then? Well, Mr. Mortimer, Ms. Morganford, Priscilla, and Edward. Now, if my theory is correct,
Inspector Bukowski!
and the body could be found.
Inspector Bukowski! I found the body.
What? A body? Really? Perfect. Where is it?
One moment. Here he is. Uncle Albert.
That's Al in that little box? Oh, the poor man.
Oh no, Daddy!
What, he can put through a wood chipper?
Oh my.
Certainly weren't no bolting accident.
Oh, Diesel, what is that?
It's Uncle Albert.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No, kid, that ain't your Uncle Albert.
Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late.
Ow! Daddy!
That's your Uncle Albert. What do you got in the box there, kid? A rat of some kind?
No, it's Uncle Albert. Tell him, Uncle Albert.
Oh, my dear heavens, Albert. What happened?
Priscilla killed him.
It was an accident.
I knew you were the only one with opportunity and motive.
Whoa. Okay. Hello. What is going on here?
This is Uncle Albert.
What? Pleased to meet you, sir. Inspector Bukowski.
Oh, how do you do, Albert Doornail?
No, not that Uncle Albert. This one.
That's Uncle Albert as well?
Yes, of course. I told you all of the pets are named after members of the house.
All right. So, when you were talking about murder, you were talking about Uncle Albert the gerbil, not Uncle Albert the uncle?
Yes, of course.
Wait a minute. When you came running in here saying Uncle Albert was dead, you were talking about that stupid hamster?
Yes, of course. And you stepped on him and killed him. I can prove it. The pattern on your heel matches the pattern of the wound.
Okay. Back up a little bit further. Mr. Doornail, where have you been all evening?
Oh, well, all over the place, really.
We found blood in the sink. We thought you were kidnapped by aliens.
Aliens? My goodness, no.
Mr. Doornail, from breakfast, what happened?
Oh, well, after breakfast, I went upstairs to have my breakfast. After breakfast, I went upstairs to get dressed. And while I was shaving, I nicked the dickens out of my chin. A real guster. I tried to find a band-aid, but I couldn't find any.
And hence the blood in the sink upstairs.
Yes, so I looked for Mortimer so he could drive me to the store to buy some, but I couldn't find him either, so I decided, what the heck, I'll go myself.
Sir, I'm dreadfully sorry.
Oh, not a problem at all. You're always driving me everywhere. It's about time I did things for myself. The only problem is that, I never paid attention much prior, and I had no idea the names of the streets around here.
So basically, you've been driving around lost this whole time.
Yes, that's the long and short of it. I would have called, but I left my cell phone here, and I could have called to collect, but I didn't know the number to this blasted place. I've never had to call myself before.
Daddy, we thought you were dead.
Dead? I don't think so.
Hey, you had us all bunched up there, Al. The good inspector here was about to run one of us down with your murder.
Murder?
Yeah, we found blood and fake wills and everything.
Fake wills? Oh, no, that. I was just doing some updating. That's why I called you all here this evening. I was going to tell you about the changes I've been making.
What changes?
Hello, Abigail. Long time no see. Yes, you see, I've never been comfortable being a wealthy tycoon. I have all of this money, but I've never been able to do the things that I wanted to do or have the things that I wanted to have. So I'm getting rid of a lot of this old junk, starting with this dusty old barn. And so, Abigail, I called you here to tell you that if you want this place, you can have it.
Have it? No!
Oh, that's a water for Mother.
Besides, the taxes on this place are killing me. So I needed to diversify, which is why I called Sal and was going to get him the green light on his restaurants. Forget about it.
How you doing?
And Candy here, I was going to give the money to for her beauty parlor. That's all. You mean to tell me you all thought that I was dead?
It was Edward's fault. He was talking about that stupid hamster.
Well, I thought that's what you were all talking about too. I thought this whole investigation was about Uncle Albert.
It was about Uncle Albert, not the Uncle Albert you were talking about.
I don't get it, kid. Didn't you hear us talking about the body and the blood and the wills and all like that?
Well, no, not all the time.
May I point out, Edward was not present most of the time. He was often seeking brandy for Abigail. There seemed to be a slight misunderstanding, or dare I say, a crazy mix-up.
Yeah, it's been crazy all night.
You said it, sister.
Well, it looks like everything's been straightened out. I'll be on my way.
Yo, Bukowski, you've done a hell of a job. If I ever know of a guy that gets whacked and I can't figure it out, I'll give you a call. No problem. Forget about it.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm really wondering, who were you gonna say was the killer?
Well, since you asked, based on the evidence that I had, and I didn't have much, I had this idea that it was Edward.
Me?
Yes.
Well, how could you think it was me?
Well, you probably stood to inherit quite a bit. Plus, you were young enough to wait out the proceedings on the original document. And I figured that hour you spent for flea spray was a cover from burying the body and hiding all evidence that belonged to you. And helping with the investigation was the perfect diversion. Only you would have been smart enough to pull that off.
Hey, that's pretty good. I'll buy that.
Well, I'm glad everything got worked out. I'll be on my way.
Thank you again, Inspector. I'm sorry that I wasn't actually dead.
Well, that's all right. Maybe next time.
Yes, of course. Anytime.
Well, cheers, everyone.
Bye.
Well, it looks like I missed quite an exciting evening.
Hey, how about a toast out?
Ah, wonderful. Thank you, Mortimer. And I am sorry, my dear boy, about Uncle Albert. I know he was one of your favorites. Tell you what, tomorrow I'll go to the store and buy you another.
Sir, if you don't mind, I'll drive next time.
singing karaoke, but no. I come to this thing about hamsters and no body murder mystery malarkey, I mean.
Since you've been such a joy and you just didn't...
I demand a refund.
Oh, you didn't like our little plan, sorry.
Either that or you let me sing Don't Stop Believing. Now what's it gonna be, sister?
I'm thinking more like, you talk too much.
Well, I don't think I do. Hey, this Garfunkel giving you a hard time.
As a matter of fact, he is.
I'll take care of this. Oh, yeah, what you gonna do, huh? Hold my jacket, Bernice. I'm about to give this guy a pot rule by baby, all right? Yeah. Come over here, why don't you forget about it, buddy? Yo, audience guy! I got somebody I want you to meet. No, thank you. Oh, goodness! This is gonna be good.
The end.
You guys have fun? Yeah. Good. Now, we give out Super Sleuth certificates for our fall fundraiser here at Sonnenberg Gardens. I'm Dave Hutchings, I'm the executive director, and we're so grateful and thankful for all these volunteers who put this all together for us. And you're going to get to meet each and every one of them in a minute. But first, the Super Sleuths. Do you have something to tell me, directors? They're the directors. Okay. All right. So 92% of you people got it.
Wrong.
That's good. All right. But 6 of you did get it right. So here you go. Richard Binder. Richard Binder. There you go. Congratulations. Rebecca Snyder. There you go. Rebecca. Travis Piper. Lauren Studrint. Lauren? Okay, Lauren. All right, I'll get it to you. Okay. Samantha Tendell. Samantha? There you go. And Kelly Panera Andrews. All right, we got 2 from up above. So, we would love to have you meet all the cast. And so, our director, Wendy Huber, is going to tell us all about it.
Hi, everybody. First of all, let me just say thank you for coming. My name is Wendy Huber, and I am a co-director.
And I'm Sheena Bright, we're the other co-director of this zany and entertaining show.
Before we introduce you to our amazing cast, let's just say that we could not have done this without some great cast support from behind the scenes. I'm Mary Thompson Steinway, our wonderful mood-setting pianist, Barbara Hall.
Hey, did everybody know that Priscilla did it?
Why? And I'd like to also give a note of thanks to our creative costumers, Shelley Stam, who's not here tonight, Sheena Bright, and Neil Swanson, who you'll meet in a minute.
And many thanks to our adding suspense and excitement to the show on lights and sound effects, the technical genius of Robert Bright.
Yeah. There it is.
And lastly, special thanks to the off and row players for the loan of the professional lighting.
Yes. And now let us introduce you to the amazing and talented cast of
Death of a Doornail.
First, our darling announcer and our temper-tested narrator, Alexandria Bright and Ryan Serrell.
All right, next is our bickering karaoke-loving duo, Stanley and Bernice, Sean Jones and Diane Johnson.
Portraying our cleaver-bearing cook and cheerless butler, Beth Aldridge and Steve Charles.
the nerdy nephew and the spoiled daughter of Albert, Drake Hubert and Manny Tesoro.
As Albert's neurotic ex-wife and his new not-so-astute girlfriend, Jean Vitamin and Amy Swanson.
Salvatore Carbone and his thug Big Bruce Frusco, John Cicino and Bruce Aldridge.
Rounding out our cast, our super sleuth investigator, Inspector Bukowski, and the not-so-dead Uncle Albert, Michelle Corey Brown, and Bill Swanson.